Some folks call it the biggest blight on Japanese culture since the introduction of Hello Kitty. Other experts say it will result in a 35% population decrease within the next 20 years in this country. Of course, I'm referring to cosplay and its ill effects on the youth of this country. We're here to look at this phenomenon and see what it means to Japanese youth and where they can go to get help for this all too pervasive problem in the culture. How long have you been dressing as these characters? How many years?
2 years.
I'm here with two of the leading offenders in Japanese cosplay culture. Sir, could you please tell me what you're dressed as? For the record, he just kicked me. And who are you dressed as?
Dragon Quest 5.
Which character?
Papas.
Tell us your name.
Queen Katamari.
And who are you dressed as?
Vincent Valentine.
Your hair, is that real hair? Is that a wig?
Big.
It feels like ruffles. Well, you don't know that's a chocobo. Sir, I'll have your name and what you're dressed as. All right, one final question. If I were to dress as a character, who would you see me dressing as?
Dormagus. Youngest.
Dragon Quest Sword バウト。
セブンのバレット。リーブ。絶対リーブ。
All right.
シド。
Sid, yes. Yes. He's in all of them. Americans, we don't do cosplay a lot, but I once went to a Halloween party dressed as Mike Ditka. Do you think that counts? I'd like to know why both of you are avoiding my questions. I can tell you right now, it doesn't look like we're going to get anything from these people. They're very evasive. They're not very cooperative. But we're going to keep going and keep delving further into the issue. We're here at the Square Enix Festival, of course, and I'm standing in front of a school building, which is actually where they're demoing Final Fantasy Tactics A2. Of course, this is the sequel to the original Final Fantasy Tactics Advance on the GBA, which came out a few years ago, which itself was the sequel to the original Final Fantasy Tactics on PlayStation. Had a chance to play this game. It's really fun. It plays a lot like the first game, but the setting is a little bit different. And we're actually in the Final Fantasy Tactics area. To my left over here is the Final Fantasy Tactics remake that's out on the PSP, and of course A2 behind me. So we got a lot of things in this general area we're going to take a look at, and so let's see what else is going on around here.
They've actually set up a museum to commemorate all 20 years of Final Fantasy. Now, because there have been more than a few games in the series, what they've done is they've laid out a timeline on the wall, and directly beneath it in glass cases they have all the games. And it's a really cool mix of old and new, because obviously they're pimping out some of the remakes and some of the new things that they're doing. And this is actually just one of two little mini museums they've got set up here. Another one they've got over across the way focuses on the Star Ocean series.
We're actually on the other side of the Final Fantasy Museum of sorts, where they showed all 20 years of Final Fantasy games, and we're looking at like a message board where people, fans of the series, will write their little messages about which games they feel is the best, and they'll post it on this wall. By the end of the day, this entire wall will be covered with these post-its. So I thought what we'd do is I'd add one of my own post-its. So I think I'm going to write one of my own and stick it up on the wall. So let's see what happens. So we're here at the sort of part 2 of the Tactics section here at the Square Enix Festival, and this is the PSP remake of the original Final Fantasy Tactics. As I said, it's on the PSP, and they have made some changes to the game. The battle system, of course, and the job system is pretty much the same, but they made some nice presentation changes. The music, for one, is greatly upgraded. It's fantastic. So a lot of the themes have been reworked, and the cutscenes, which were sort of primitive in the original game, have been given a new look. It's sort of a hand-drawn look. It's really unlike anything we've seen in the Square game right now yet, and really serves the game well. It's out here, just came out here this week in Japan. We don't know when it's going out in the States, but hopefully soon we'll all get a chance to play it. But right now, it's cool to see that Tactics is back in a big way.
And we are here in between two Dragon Quest booths. To my left is the booth for Dragon Quest Monsters Joker, and it's kind of a side Dragon Quest game for the DS featuring the Joker character. A lot of monsters, a lot of battling. It's pretty popular down here. They've actually got a tournament going on the stage at the far end a little bit later today. To my right, though, is the biggie. It's Dragon Quest Swords, which is the Wii game that we've seen teased a lot for a while, but they've actually got it playable here. We played it yesterday. It's really cool, but you know, it is kind of like a rail adventure. It's first person. There's a lot of slashing. We were only able to try one level, but it seems like it could be cool.
We're in front of the Final Fantasy XII Revenant Wings display, which is a brand new game here in Japan. Came out about a month ago, and it's sort of a real-time strategy game, which is new for the Final Fantasy series and sort of uncommon here in Japan. The producers behind